And then we show this. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the J Group Real Estate Show. This is another episode of our series on women of influence, and I'm so happy and excited today to have live with us Abra Chouinard. Abra is an owner of multiple private companies and also an award-winning film producer and director, and she's passionate about helping you increase your time and your time wealth so you can do more, have more, and achieve more in life. So welcome, Abra. So great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So can you tell us, I was fascinated when I met you in Wisconsin at the Enhance Your Reach Signature Talk workshop, and you were talking about the concept of helping people to not only understand time, but how to increase their time and also stack it. Can you explain a little bit about what all that means?
Yes. So in a very simple way, I should say, is a lot of us have an idea that we are boxed in. Time is only one metric, like almost if you're making an apple pie and you have 1 cup of flour. So everybody has 1 hour and then it's all the same. However, I end up always using food analogies. I'm not sure. I bake, so that's kind of the thing. But
we all love food.
Yes, we all. Food is good. You can put different flour in that cup. You can put wheat flour. You can put, almond flour. There's all these different things you can put in this cup. So once you understand that you can change out what's in that hour, you are able to actually go gluten-free, or you could go sugar-free. You can make it all the ways you need to make it so that you can get more or do more or something that fits your life specifically. Once you understand time I'm very simply making it very simple here, but once you understand that, then you're able to actually start to stack and scale and multiply. So that would be going from making 1 pie to being able to make 10 pies at the same time, or being able to be in multiple cities, and multiple cities, you're making multiple pies. So I know it sounds a little confusing, but once you understand the building blocks of it, it actually is very simple and you can get so much done. Some people are just like, I don't know how I've lived without doing this before.
That is so interesting. I love that. And so not only do you teach people about time and how to stack time and create more time, tell us a little bit more about, I know you've owned, or you currently have about 27 gazillion businesses or something like that. How do you do all of that? And like, how do running your businesses relate to, what you teach people about time?
Yes. So kind of taking a step back from when I was a little kid, I grew up on the end of a dirt road that didn't have a name. It wasn't until after 9/11 that we even named our roads up in this part of the mountains. It was just Bear Creek or Boundary Creek, the apple tree at the end. It was very simple. We didn't have internet. We didn't, obviously, before it was even invented for the public. So everything was waiting around. You waited. So with that time, I just figured out, if I could do something, and I don't mean move like locations, but physically move, because we didn't have a working car. We didn't have telephone. There was cable TV, nothing existed. So I always thought, if I could move, what could I do? And so I thought about time as being a vertical of, I could stack it and do different things. So when I stepped out, when I was old enough to actually get a job at 14, I ended up with 6 jobs that summer. And I stacked my time for the week. So I had 6 jobs. So I was able to buy my first car and just kind of like keep on going from that. So as I got older and more knowledge was, gleaned, then I realized I could stack businesses. And as we talked about that cup of flour, I have different businesses that are different types of flour. So more things can be stacked into 1 hour, and other businesses may need a different hour. And with all of that, I'm able to have a farm. I do a production company. We make movies. We own our main street in our little downtown that we've been fixing up, that is from the turn of the century. It just goes and it goes and it goes, because I'm just thinking about it in terms of stacking because you can understand the verticals of it and you can get so much more done. I hope that kind of made sense there.
It does. I just find this so fascinating and interesting, and hopefully our viewers will, want to learn more and find it interesting as well. So, on a different note, I met you and your amazing two children at the
Aw, thank you.
workshop. Yeah, you're welcome. And I understand you're a single mom. Like, how do
Yes.
you do it all? How do you run your businesses and be such an amazing single mom at the same time?
Well, thank you for the kind words. My kids, they're my team. My daughter's my COO, and my son he takes care of everything else and makes sure that I have water in my water cup, and that if I'm out of coffee, then he knows it's a red alert emergency at our house. So
Oh my gosh, that's
that is
so
really good.
sweet.
But yes, so what the first part about understanding time is, because time is actually an illusion, realistically, is that there's no option not to. So once you don't have an option not to do the things you want to do, you're going to do them. So either you choose to get out of bed at 5 a.m. and work out, or you choose not to get out of bed at 5 a.m. to work out. There's only two options. There's either that side or that side. There isn't any gray area in between. So once you get an understanding of that, then it makes it really easy to go, well, I need to do this. That's needs to be done. There is no other option. So you can start stacking time and making sense of it. When you have this gray area where it's like, well, I can kind of do this. Maybe I'll kind of go over there and do that. I don't feel like it. All of that just muddies it up, and everyone's confused and they never get anything done, or they don't get done what they want to get done, or they only sort of get something done a little bit. So when you clarify time as either every minute you're the kids and I just talked about this on the way down. We were just generally talking that every minute has to produce something. So if you're playing video games, you're not producing anything. You're just producing sitting there. Or my kids love to paint. And I said, well, go get some more canvases. And then you guys can spend the same 30 minutes and you would have, 5 new paintings. I mean, some of this abstract art you can do very, very quickly. We have the county fair coming up. You can put it in the fair. We can sell it down at our wellness T-bar and organic bistro. There's all these places you can do it. So your 30 minutes could produce something or not produce something.
I love it. That's so good.
Yeah. So take that and then just stack it, and then you've got a whole bunch of your day done.
That is so cool. And would you say a lot of it involves discipline, or does that not really play into it a whole lot with what you're teaching?
Yes, you could call it discipline. I'm weary of that word. I would say commitment is more showing up, committed. If you're a mom, okay, if you're a mom, you know that when your kid's crying, it's the middle of the night and they have a fever, you're not going to just be like, kid's fine, we'll deal with it tomorrow. You're committed to make sure your kid is good, better, healthy, whatever it needs to be, soothed, anything. That commitment to your kids, that commitment needs. I'm using the mom card a little bit because it's a great bond to kind of like, it's a strong bond to bring together. But once you understand how serious that commitment is, there is no other option. There is no option to ignore your kid. There is no option to not make sure they're okay. It is absolutely, you do it and you do it with a smile on your face. So if you put that amount of commitment into every minute of everything you're doing, every job, whether you're working for someone else, working for yourself, everything you do, even your car, you come out to your car and you're like, oh, it's a little dusty. Get one of those little handheld vacuums from Home Depot and vacuum it out. So when you get in, your car is brand new clean every time you get in. Probably take 15 seconds to do. But those little moments of making your environment reflect your commitment makes you more committed, which you can do more because you're so committed. It just becomes easy. And it's not about a clock on or a watch on your wrist or a calendar on the wall. You're just dominating at that point.
Got it. I love that so much. So how long does it typically take for somebody that you're teaching and coaching to get into that mode of being committed?
It's, I think it's an aha moment. It's a personal decision. We hear these stories all the time. I was following someone on Instagram. It's this gentleman. He's showing his working out, and he's down 200 pounds. He got up to like 450 pounds and he was eating whatever he wants. And he's telling the story and he goes, one day I just realized this is not who I want to be. I want to be this guy over here, whatever that version of what he wanted to be. So he's been showing every day, shirt off, jump roping, doing all the core fitness out in the yard, doing all of these different things. And he's bearing his soul because he's just in his shorts showing all of this, but it was his commitment inside of himself. He had a moment where he said, I'm going to do this. And then he went balls out and he's doing it. So it's that moment inside of you that once you decide you hit that commitment mark, that's when it all changes. So people can hear something for years and all of a sudden have an aha moment when they're taking a shower. People can hear it within 2 minutes, go, oh my gosh, done, I'm on it. And before they even leave, like the Advance Your Reach that we were at, there's a lot of people that left that room that already made money before they left the room because they figured it out and were already doing it. So that commitment is an inside, it's a switch. So what I try to do is get that switch to go on clearly, but go on as fast as possible so you can get on with your life today. Every minute you're waiting is a minute lost. You can't get that back.
Well, I personally would love to have you as my coach and teach me about time stacking and
thank you.
Hopefully help me have that aha moment. I relate to what you were saying back when I first became a single mom and I got into real estate. I did have that aha moment and I was committed. I just made stuff happen. But these days I could use a little bit more help. How does one get a hold of you, Abra? I did put a little banner together. Let me see if this information is.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. So my website is just Coach Abra. Abra is spelled A, B as in boy, R as in Rachel, A as in Abra. It's a very interesting name. It's my real name. It actually comes from you could call it a chant, if you will. So it's not necessarily a religious however you say that. I'm not saying it correctly right now. It comes from religion, but it's Sanskrit. We read abracadabra and you break it down. It ends with Abra at the bottom of the pyramid, and it's supposed to bring good fortune and good luck. So I'm trying to honor my name and do that for the people. So it's coachabra.com. And then you can also find me on Instagram at Coach Abra and also at Abra_Chouinard. And just DM me if you have any questions or go to the website and everything's there. And you can join our community. You can join the coaching. You can also just take our free time quiz to get a personalized, receive information that's personalized to your time issue to get you started to see, kind of start hitting that switch is what we're trying to do.
I love that so much. And then what would you say, Abra, are the biggest, I don't even know if you use this word, time wasters? Like, what do people usually waste the most time on in general?
They immediately, everyone thinks everything takes more time than it is. If you go out to your car and you go to like Big 5 Sports or something and get those quick stopwatches that have like the seconds timer stopwatchers on there that they do for the track, go get one of those. Walk out to your car, open the trunk of your car, wherever you put your groceries, hit the timer, and walk in the house to your kitchen. How long does it actually take? Maybe 8 seconds, maybe 12 if you were really like kicking the dog on the way in. I mean, it doesn't take that long, but in our minds, we're like, oh my God, unloading the groceries is going to take like 15 minutes. No, it doesn't. It takes like 15 seconds. So once you start understanding time, we work with people to find out where their time pits are. Basically, we have you clock different things and start to understand your time. This is where that whole time understanding comes in, is you think things take this amount of time. In reality, they take this amount of time. And all of a sudden you had 45 minutes to go do that blog post that you really wanted to do. And you could probably do every single day, but you're stressed out about doing the laundry or you're stressed out about unloading groceries. So simple things like that.
Got it. Okay, interesting. So it's not necessarily that people are wasting time on specific things necessarily. It's just more like you're teaching them, how much time these events actually take. And so teaching them how to, eliminate some, or maybe just eliminate it from their mind, I guess.
Yes. And they are wasting time on other things as well. And those time wasters, unfortunately, binge watching Netflix or, on social, just consuming it. All of these different activities are really just trying to fill this void inside, which is you don't feel good, because giving is where we feel fulfillment. And experience is where we feel entertainment. And what we end up doing is sitting on the couch trying to feel entertainment through the TV, which is not going to happen. We try to feel this fulfillment through these social media. But what we really need to do is understand that we have enough time that we could go literally pick up the garbage on our street. We could go do the crosswalk at the schools. There's so many things that you have 15 minutes for that would make your day feel like $1 million, that it's amazing. And it's just giving the knowledge so that people can make better choices, which will then eventually they'll be able to stack, and then they're going to multiply their time because they get into the flow of it.
Got it. I'm curious to find out, like with you and your businesses and your time stacking, do you utilize the help of other assistants like VAs or anything like that? Or do you literally do it all yourself?
I literally do it all myself. I tried,
Wow.
I'm not going to name any names, but I tried some other VA companies. And honestly, just trying to get an email through and get an email back and do this, I was like, you guys need a class on time management to run your company, because people need so many different things. And it was just too slow and cumbersome. So I'm always looking for some VA help, but it's got to be someone that understands time. And I think that's the challenge I'm running into, is that a lot of us, we're just taught what we're taught. And so we just have these ideas and strings holding us down that we just need to cut all the strings so we can all fly. And that's what I'm hoping to do. So maybe I'll make some good VAs out of this.
Yes, I hope so. Well, we just found a couple of amazing VAs. I'll like share that with you after the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, Abra, do you have any last words of wisdom you'd like to throw out there before I say goodbye?
Yes. I have some notes for time tips here. Let's see if I'll pull let's see. Okay. So one of my time tips that I give for people who are in the bucket of not being able to really get up in the morning, like they want to, they do it for a couple of months, and then they kind of like, I don't know, it's 5 o'clock. I don't really feel like getting up, but they need to, because they want to write that blog. They want that secondary income. They want to work towards an education or something that's going to take them somewhere, or have that private time in the morning before the whole house gets up or their company gets up. One of the things you can do is, there's a company called Smartthings. Samsung bought them recently, and prior to that, they were independent. They have a hub, and I'm sure there are other ones on the market. I just know this one personally, that you can set up so that it will turn on your light in your room at a certain time. It'll turn on your music for you. It can turn on the TV. It can do anything you want. And if you get the Philips Hue lights, you can change them to flash yellow and purple if you're a Lakers fan and they score a basket. It can do anything. So it becomes kind of a stimulator, so that it's almost like having a coach sitting there next to you being like, it's time to get up, because all the lights went on in your room. You can't really sleep through that. So I have mine come on. I have my Google next to me that says, "Good morning, love," and it wakes me up, and then my music plays, and
So
my
cute.
world just turns on, so that I'm already stimulated when I wake up. It's not just a dark room. So that would be one that could really change your game.
I love that so much. Smartthings by Samsung, you said.
Yes.
Yeah. What about all of the iPhone users out there? Do you have any idea as to what they might use?
The iPhone, I use it really. I mean, you're using it for your alarm clock a lot of the time. But if you're busy and you've got your phone on and you've got that turned down because you don't want to hear Clubhouse dinging at 1 a.m. because London's going live with some event, or, there's a lot of different events that tend to make your phone go off. So a lot of us turn it down or try to quiet it down. So that's where the secondary, like a Smartthings or a Google or Alexa or these other independents that we can control a lot more to be like our robotic assistants, come in, because our phones can be really loud because they're supposed to notify us. But then when we turn off the notification, it inadvertently turns off our ability to be notified, if that makes sense.
Got it. So this is an independent thing outside of like your phone.
Yes, but the app,
Okay.
the app's on your phone to control it all, but it's your house coming alive. And
Got it.
in the future, I think everything will be like this when we walk in. There's a fob you can get so that when you even get close to your front door, sorry about hitting the mic there. If you get close to your front door, it'll do a series of events. You can turn on your front porch light. You can open your garage door. It'll turn on the crock pot, anything you want. I mean, they even make the kitchen ranges with Smartthings. So it'll turn on, if you picked up a pizza and you want the oven warmed up, it'll turn on your oven for you if you just hit the button or set a time, and it'll be preheated when you get home. It's the automation of the future, but it's using it to be able to save you time, because you don't have to drive home to then sit there and turn the oven on. Now your pizza's getting cold before your guests arrive. Like, those little things really add up.
Right. I love it so much. I love everything that you said. And I hope that a lot of people reach out to you. If you do reach out to Abra, say, hey, I saw you on the J Group Real Estate Show. That would be super amazing. I'm personally going to reach out to you and get some coaching on helping me and my husband to create more time and to stack time. I think
and you
that
guys
would
are
be
amazing. I would love it, because
Thank
you and
you.
Kelly, you guys are adorable. My kids and I still say how adorable you guys are. You're
Oh
like
my
the best.
gosh. Thank you so much. You guys are adorable. All right. Well, thanks again, Abra. Have an amazing day, and we'll be in touch soon.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for listening. And I hope that you even get 1 extra minute in your day and you can enjoy your favorite cup of coffee or your favorite ice cream. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Definitely. Bye. And broadcast.